Tonight, the province will change how it budgets for a massive court settlement, and that could drive up the deficit to $1 billion. That story and...
While Gaza continues to experience famine, 4 Newfoundlanders are joining global flotillas aimed at intercepting Israel's blockade and delivering aid. I'll have that story coming up.
Despite this latest incident and the deaths of hundreds of thousands of farm salmon, the people here in Harbour Breton want the aquaculture industry to stay where it is. A story tonight on Here and Now.
This is CBC Here and Now.
Good evening and welcome to Here and Now. Several activists and a law professor from this province are hoping to travel to Israel's naval blockade on Gaza. The Flotilla is an international initiative to deliver humanitarian aid to Gaza, but it experienced a setback. Organizers claim a drone attacked the boat on Monday night. The CBC's Abby Cole has that story.
Global authorities have declared a famine in Gaza due to a blockade of humanitarian aid by the Israeli government. And global genocide scholars have called Israel's actions in Gaza a genocide. In response, 4 Newfoundlanders are looking to set sail alongside hundreds of activists looking to break the blockade and deliver humanitarian aid. Newfoundland-born lawyer and professor at Osgoode Hall Law School, Heidi Matthews, is in Tues preparing to sail alongside the global Samud flotilla in a legal support boat. Swedish activist Greta Thunberg is participating in this flotilla alongside delegations from 44 countries. But on Monday night, organizers say one of its boats was struck by a drone while ported in Tunisia, and Matthews was one of the lawyers on scene providing legal support.
At that time, what looked to be a drone was observed hovering above the boat, and shortly after that, what looked to be a bit of a fireball actually dropped onto the deck of the boat and caused quite a large, not an explosion as such, but a large kind of burst of fire and at least a 2-meter wide fire. The folks on the boat were able to put that out themselves after a few minutes, so very, very lucky that nobody was injured and that the vessel was not completely destroyed.
According to Reuters, Tunisia's Interior Ministry says the reports of a drone strike have no basis in truth and claim that rather a fire broke out on the vessel itself. But Matthews says the evidence points to it being a drone strike.
When I arrived at the port, we watched several, as I've already said, several different independently sourced live streams of the actual attack. And I spoke to several survivors of the attack who gave first-person testimony to me. While that investigation is ongoing, I don't think it's credible to deny that this was an attack launched from the air onto the boat.
3 Newfoundland activists will also be joining a different flotilla with the International Freedom Flotilla Coalition. For now, those 3 activists are currently in Ajaccio, France, waiting to set sail. The Freedom Flotilla Coalition have previously claimed that a humanitarian aid ship headed to Gaza was bombed by 2 drones in May, and claimed that activist Chris Smalls was also assaulted by members of the Israeli Defense Forces in July. A statement from Palestine Action YYT states that they understand the risk they are taking, but say they believe the cost of inaction is far greater. In a statement, activist Sadie Mees said that it is the duty of all citizens to take action, and Devaney Ellis said that joining the flotilla is about demanding leaders end their complicity. Abby Cole, CBC News, St. John's.
The province is changing how it accounts for a windfall from tobacco companies. The settlement, worth $400 million, won't be included in its entirety in this year's budget as originally planned. As Peter Cowan explains, that has the potential to drive up the deficit to $1 billion.
The province is changing how it handles a key part of revenue for this year's budget. Originally back in April, the plan was to include $400 million in this year's budget from a tobacco lawsuit settlement. The tobacco companies are paying the province back for healthcare-related costs. But the Comptroller General said, hold on, that's not the way to do it properly. Because the settlement was reached in last fiscal year, the first payment shows up in last year's budget. And there's uncertainty. In the report, it writes, because of the uncertainty related to the future annual payments, subsequent revenue will be recognized in future years once there is further certainty of the amounts.
We're going to record it in the 24-25 year. We thought we would record it in 25-26 year because the payment wasn't received till then, but she's made that determination.
But what about the other $300 million that's expected to come in over the next 20 years? The Auditor General expects it to stay off the books.
There is nothing booked in future years. They'll assess it every year to see that they get any money, what is the projections for the probability that they'll get them, and then we'll treat it according to that.
But the province isn't doing it that way. It's counting all of the money in this year's budget.
It's still being recorded in this fiscal year.
So why does this all matter? Well, if the province does it the way the Auditor General laid out, the province's financial picture would be much worse. The deficit could be close to $1 billion, which is a far cry from the $400 million it was back at budget time or the $626 million it was just a few weeks ago. And of course, all of this comes right before a provincial election. Peter Cowan, CBC News, St. John's.
Now to Labrador, where the inquiry into the treatment, experiences and outcomes of Innu in the child protection system continues in Chehajit. Today, the hearing heard from Innu elder Optet Andrew, known to most as Ben. He spoke about the history of Innu and shared his personal experience speaking with elders in his community. He described how they continued to share cultural knowledge and traditions despite priests trying to stop them. Later this week, the inquiry will hear from former federal officials about government's role in child protection in Innu communities. The recent die-off of hundreds of thousands of fish is not changing the attitude toward aquaculture on the south coast. Aquaculture giant Mowi reported the incident last week, but that hasn't slowed salmon processing. The CBC's Troy Turner was in Harbour Breton and has his story.
From the activity on the wharf and in the fish plant to the campers filling the small RV park, it seems there's plenty of activity in Harbour Breton this week.
They're processing, so it's busy. There's a lot of traffic in town, a lot of people working.
Last week, Maui, an international aquaculture company, reported the loss of about 400,000 salmon in their Harbour Breton pens. Maui said that incident was caused by a period of increased water temperatures in association with decreased oxygen levels.
I think the industry still can grow. There's hiccups along the way, as in any industry. This industry is very important to this community, to this region, and in my belief, to the province. Well, the spin-offs from the industry, like being a supplier or just a retail store in the community or a restaurant. I mean, the people that work here spend money here. And people that come in to deal with the aquaculture companies, whether it be suppliers or vendors or truckers bringing salmon out, I mean, they all spend money, they all drop money in the region.
We contacted Maui about doing an on-camera interview, but they declined. Speaking on background, a representative in Harbour Breton did say the salmon that survived this incident are expected to be processed in the next day or so.
The plant has been working double shifts, and more than 20 workers from New Brunswick were brought in to help process those salmon.
It's never good, but it do happen. And it just seems that aquaculture, when this stuff happens, there's a lot more attention turns to some fish dying than it would in the poultry industry or some other type of farming or animal livestock farming.
Aquaculture is big business in this small town.
Harbour Breton has flourished and grew into a place where it's economically viable to live. I mean, there's jobs and there's opportunities in the community that allow people to not only stay and live here, but also we have a number of younger people that have had the opportunity to also pack up from out west or other places in Canada and move home.
We support any industry that comes to town, and we do what we can as a community, as a town, to help these industries survive and thrive. Because when they thrive, we're thriving with them, and we're more secure. People spend money. We know that we have residents that are staying.
The people of Harbour Breton that I spoke with say they want the aquaculture industry to stay where it is, as it's been a lifeline and an economic generator for this region. Maui says it feels the same and has no plans to discontinue any investment in this area. Troy Turner, CBC News, Harbour Breton.
Well, the province has inked a $500 million deal with a nonprofit company to combine its road and air ambulance systems. Medavie Health NL will receive up to $561 million over the next 10 years, depending on whether or not it can meet a list of about 40 performance targets. Health Minister Crystalline Howell says she's confident the deal will vastly improve ambulance services, which was a source of frustration under the previous system.
I've been the nurse who's held the hand of a patient who was waiting for an airplane that didn't come, or I've actually been ventilating a infant while we waited for a Janeway team to decide which crew was responsible, or I've been on the phone with the flight desk trying to get a bed number so that we can initiate a transfer. And I know that the people on the other end of that call were equally as frustrated because they all have a job to do as well. And sometimes the system did not allow us to do our jobs to the best of our abilities. And that is incredibly frustrating as a healthcare provider.
A Conservative MP from this province says the Prime Minister failed in his election promise to solve the tariff war with the United States, and yesterday's announcement in St. John's proves it. Mark Carney introduced an $80 million tariff relief fund for small and medium-sized businesses in Atlantic Canada, but Long Range Mountains MP Carol Anstey says businesses want tariffs eliminated, not mitigated.
Prime Minister Carney certainly positioned himself when he, became the proposed next prime minister as being the person who could deal with Donald Trump and get the best possible deal from him. And I think a lot of Atlantic Canadians especially voted for him based on that premise. And so now we see that he's not actually gotten that deal across the finish line. And so, we know that there's businesses, obviously, that have been impacted by the tariff. So it's great to see an acknowledgement of that. But ultimately, I think what Canadians expected to see was a deal negotiated with the Prime Minister that would deal with these tariffs and not necessarily a measure after the fact that would sort of mitigate the damages from the tariffs. I don't think he's making good on that promise initially that he brought forward. Now, with respect to small and medium-sized businesses, especially in Newfoundland and Labrador, super important. So, we're happy to see that relief is there. I represent a very rural riding, and I come from a small business background myself, so I understand the challenges. And I think that small businesses certainly have had a rough go. And so I'm happy that there's some relief there for them. But I think in the big scheme of things, the businesses impacted by tariffs would have much rather just to see a good deal negotiated for them. When we go back in the fall session, we're really going to be bringing forward solutions, one of them being the Canada Sovereignty Act. And we want to see real investment back into Canada, which is why we're asking that the capital gains tax be removed when businesses invest back in Canada. So these are the kinds of solutions that we're going to propose to really kickstart the economy, and we'll work together with any member from any party to strengthen Canada and to really see it as a sovereign nation, and so those are our priorities moving forward.
Amazing Race Canada will showcase some of this province on tonight's episode. The reality competition show filmed here back in May with competitors racing to reach the Gander Airport. The episode airs on CTV tonight.
Well, the temperature is much different story today than they were yesterday, that's for sure. Temperatures anywhere from about 2 to 4 degrees cooler across the island, up across Labrador. A few of you are seeing temperatures much warmer, like Nain, 7 degrees warmer than where you were sitting yesterday. But we are in for a very chilly night for most of the province tonight, with possible frost for low-lying areas. So we'll talk about that a little later, along with a lovely day for tomorrow. But we do have some rain on the way as we head towards Thursday and Friday. Some significant rain in some cases. I'll break that down for you coming up a little later.
Some parents of children who attend Stephenville Primary are frustrated with the reduction of student assistance at the school. The CBC's Amy Fian reports.
I'm standing here outside of Stephenville Primary where parents and other members of the community were gathering in protest of the recent cuts made to student assistance here at the school. They say that it's affecting their children's quality of education and they want to see something done.
Class sizes, if you've got a class of 20 in kindergarten.
Wally Childs is the man leading the protest today. He worked at the school as an administrator and recently retired. He says part of the reason for his retirement was that his grandson with autism is starting kindergarten this year.
So I said, well, if I retire, maybe I can help him if he needs help. So, beginning of the year, found out that they only have 8 student assistants in this school. We ended the year with 16. We start the year with 8, and the needs have been increased.
Childs isn't the only one voicing concerns. Rosemarie Bennett has an 8-year-old son with autism who attends Stephenville Primary. He's also nonverbal and requires alternative augmentative communication, or an AAC, to communicate. During the last school year, he had a one-on-one student assistant through Jordan's principal.
It was the first time we actually seen him have outcomes. He was able to show his competence. He was being confident, right? So it was great to see. He was doing his colors and his behaviors were minimal.
And this year, Bennett says her son attended the first day of school, but was sent home after a few hours on the second day. With less student assistance to help, she says the school is coming up with a plan for when her son can return. So she's had to take time away from work to stay home with him in the meantime.
Parents like myself sometimes have the choice to either work or take care of their kids because they're being sent home from school because the supports aren't in the school. It's not the school staff's fault. They're doing the best they can. The province has to step up and start supplying what our children need.
CBC has requested an interview with the Department of Education and have been told that they are working on the request. But Child says this is an issue that needs to be addressed now and that the school can't wait.
Even with 16 last year, it was a struggle at times, covering all the children and making sure, they deserve to start the year the same as every other child.
Amy Fian, CBC News, Stephenville.
Well, staying with education, the Students' Union is calling on the province to change how it funds Memorial University and CNA. Julia Israel reports.
If you care about the future of this province, don't vote for candidates who refuse to stand up for students. Don't vote for those who turn their backs on public education.
Make it affordable. That's the bottom line of a list of demands post-secondary students put to provincial candidates this election season.
This is what it means to be a student at Memorial University today. It means paying thousands of dollars you don't have and working multiple jobs to cover the university admin's debt. Lining up at the food bank for hours, and that's if they have the capacity to open that day. Scrolling through Facebook housing groups at 2 a.m., desperate for somewhere to live, being pushed to work unpaid work just to graduate. This is not education, it is exploitation.
The Canadian Federation of Students of Newfoundland and Labrador want to bring back the freeze. They want tuition reduced and frozen, equal fees for all students, paid work placements, more operational funding, and student aid for international students.
Food insecurity is very real as well as the housing crisis. And when tuition doubles and the rent doubles and you can't even feed yourself, that is something the provincial government need to look into immediately.
A lot has changed since 2021, the end of a 22-year-long tuition freeze, doubled tuitions, international students paying over $22,000, and millions of dollars in budget cuts at Memorial University.
This year, we have fewer TAs, we have fewer services, we have longer wait times for classes, we have more crowded classrooms, we have crumbling university infrastructure. We saw the Writing Center close, we saw the Harris Center close. How can you expect students to pay more and get less?
And if parties don't commit to these demands, they'll lose their vote.
We have seen a lot of commitments that are more in line with us from the Progressive Conservatives and the NDP, but as of right now, we haven't seen any commitments from the Liberals.
And in a message to Minister of Education Bernard Davis,
we need you to step up.
Come October 1st, the Student Federation says they will raise the heat and hold a public demonstration. Julia Israel, CBC News, St. John's.
Ashley, what a difference between yesterday and today in terms of humidity.
Oh, yeah. We went from the, total summer to late summer today, right where we should be sitting this afternoon. Temperatures were a little bit, a lot cooler, only about 18 degrees in some cases across the island. But we really held on to that cloud cover this afternoon, mainly for the east, things clearing beautifully through central west coast and even up across Labrador. But we do have some shower activity moving in for you. And that will really set the stage for tomorrow for a little bit of a cloudy day, along with some shower chances. But take a look at your daytime highs today, and generally somewhere between 11 to 17 degrees across Labrador, and then across the island, some areas reaching the 20-degree mark. Terra Nova there as well. Other than that, temperatures were in the upper teens. But yes, lack of humidity definitely noticeable, and really you can see that. We're sitting at about 17 degrees right now in St. John's. Really temperatures all across the board are sitting in the teens, and it is going to set the stage for a cool night tonight. Environment Canada has issued a frost warning. Particularly for low-lying areas for the Green Bay, White Bay area, Deer Lake, the interior, and then through to Grand Falls, Windsor. So if you are in low-lying areas, temperatures tonight expected to drop somewhere between 0 and about +5. So if you do have any frost-sensitive plants, you're certainly going to want to cover those up tonight if you haven't harvested yet. But temperature-wise across really the rest of the island, temperatures are going to sit in the single digits, and that's because already we're seeing some clear skies and relatively light winds overnight tonight. That is basically the recipe for that potential for frost. Now, we'll likely see those clouds clear in the east through the overnight, so actually temperatures are going to stay a little warmer across the Avalon as we head through the overnight tonight. But most of the island, southeastern portions of Labrador, you will see your skies clear tonight, and we will eventually see those clouds move in for Labrador through the overnight, with the potential for some showers in the mix there as well, particularly for Lab West, and then eventually towards the early morning hours for the rest of Labrador. Daytime highs, or overnight lows rather, as you can see here, will sit in the single digits, mid-single digits for most, with the exception of St. John's, really the Avalon, where overnight lows will sit around 11 degrees overnight tonight. But yeah, relatively light winds for most, with the exception of Lab West. Your winds will be gusty, somewhere between 20 to 40 kilometers per hour. Through the overnight. Tomorrow is going to be pretty lovely for most of the island. We will see a mix of sun and cloud, particularly for the northern peninsula. Most of us should see some blue sky to start the day, though. And then for Labrador, generally cloudy for you. You may see some peaks of sun in the mix there, but shower chances pretty much across the board, at least at some point during the day. We may even hear a few rumbles of thunder in the mix there as well. I think they'll be fairly isolated if they do develop at all, but the risk is there. And then we'll see some showers move towards the northern peninsula, west coast of the island as we get into Thursday morning, well, overnight and into Thursday morning. With our next weather maker moving in, we'll see those clouds across the island move in as we get into Thursday, and then eventually some shower activity right along with it. Taking a look at your daytime highs tomorrow, very beautiful. We're looking at temperatures in the upper teens, low 20s through the day. Again, relatively light winds. West coast, you'll see southwesterly somewhere between 15 to 20 kilometers per hour, but a beautiful day. You really can't ask for better, especially at this time of year. And then for Labrador, overall, your temperatures are going to stay quite mild as well, anywhere from about 12 to 14 degrees for the north coast as well as Lab West. Winds will be out of the southwest, somewhere between 20 to 40 kilometers per hour. Temperatures a little warmer, though, through the upper Lake Melville area, and then towards the southeast coast, where your temperatures will be about 18 to 19 degrees through the day. But again, you're still looking at the chance of showers late day, though, for those of you towards the southeast. So we do have some rain in the forecast as we head into Thursday and Friday, and I'll get into those details a little later.
Thanks, Ashley. Well, police descended on the Village Mall this afternoon after stopping a stolen truck. The Royal Newfoundland Constabulary received a report about a stolen pickup in the centre of St. John's around lunchtime. Officers stopped the truck trying to flee the Village Mall a short time later. The driver was arrested and taken into custody. Charges are pending. Volunteers who fought the Kingston wildfire say its size and velocity were like nothing they have ever seen before. The huge fire led to some close calls and even destroyed some equipment. And now community leaders say the province needs to be better prepared for future wildfires. Here Now's Mark Quinn reports.
30 feet high, coming at you very fast, and it's not just in front of you, it's a kilometer around you.
It burned more than 10,000 hectares, so big it generated its own wind, a loud, powerful wind that sent large embers flying in every direction.
They're not small little embers that's coming out of a campfire. You're talking about big pieces of material that are glowing, that are flying over roads.
Those fist-sized flankers sent flames through communities from Kingston to Northern Bay, destroying more than 200 structures. Firefighters made personal sacrifices and spent long days trying to push the fire back, but sometimes they were forced to retreat.
So there's moments there where there was men and women picking up hoses and throwing them in the back of a pickup truck along with pumps, and sometimes it came so fast where we had to leave some gear behind. Gear can be replaced, firefighters can't. So there was moments where guys did have to drop tools and equipment because the fire was at their heels.
Russell said there's been an outpouring of appreciation for the work they've done, but he also responded to social media critics who've claimed some structures or homes were abandoned to save others.
I can guarantee the citizens that there was no choosing between houses and who we were going to save. We just set up strategic points to where we could have exit routes should something turn south. What houses we could get at and save, we saved.
Community leaders expect climate change, hotter, drier summers, mean there will be more wildfires in the future, and they're calling on all levels of government to be prepared.
The provincial government has to bring everyone to the table. Federal representatives, municipal representatives, provincial representatives, and there's got to be a strategy or a plan put in place going forward, because you don't want to be reacting to this. We saw what reaction does, 3 weeks of a fire out of control.
The Kingston wildfire isn't completely out yet, but it is listed as under control. Provincial officials say that so far in 2025, there have been 230 wildfires in Newfoundland and Labrador. Mark Quinn, CBC News, St. John's.
The chief of the North Shore Volunteer Fire Department is also reflecting on the Kingston wildfire. Roger Gillingham says the fire damaged much of the team's equipment and took a toll on volunteers.
We had 5 of our firefighters who lost their homes, and we had others that lost, we had one that lost a business. We had others that lost sheds, outbuildings. So there was, I think there were 9 of us in total that had property loss. And there were others that had some property damage. That was a very difficult thing to work through too, because these folks were very dedicated to try and continue to, to help with the efforts against the fire, and having to deal with knowing, or in actual fact many times not knowing, what the status was of your own property. That played a heavy toll, I guess, on us psychologically. Obviously, it was tough, very tough.
Municipal election day across the province is October 2nd. Teresa Walsh, the chief returning officer for the City of St. John's, answers some questions voters may have, like where to get information about candidates and when vote-by-mail kits will be available.
The election is fast approaching. Election day is October 2nd. Between now and then, a lot is going to be happening. You'll be seeing vote-by-mail kits coming out in the mail, and there'll be an election period in which everybody can return those vote-by-mail kits ahead of the election day. And yeah, we just want to get everybody out to vote. All of our candidate information is available on our website. We have a section just set up for election information, and amongst there is all of our candidate information with links to all of their profiles, their websites, and contact information. We expect vote-by-mail kits to go out in the mail around September 15th, so you should see those in mailboxes near you following that week. So we definitely want everyone to be sure they're registered, because only those registered on the voters list will receive a vote-by-mail kit. So they can navigate to our website, that's stjohns.ca/vote, and they can check our voter registration portal. Once you receive that kit, people can just open it up, complete it. There's really simple instructions provided. You complete your ballot and you can send that back via Canada Post as of Wednesday, September, I believe it's 24th. And as long as you reach that return date, then we will get it back here at City Hall and we will count that in the ballot on October 2nd, Election Day. But not to worry, if you don't return your kits by then, you can drop them off at any of our various drop bins throughout the city. So we're going to have Old Faithful, that's the large green box you've seen outside of City Hall, that will be in place. But it's an exciting year because we do have 6 additional baby bins to add to our fleet this year, and they will be available at various recreation facilities across the city. Well, municipal services affect you like day to day. They're tangible, you're experiencing them all the time. They're, our transit systems, our fresh water, our drinking water, our street cleaning, snow clearing, all of that. It is something that affects you directly. And I mean, if by voting you are having an influence on what services are provided, what goals are being achieved, and what your councillors are bringing to the table. So it's imperative, it's very important to come out and vote and have your say and affect your city.
For a woman on Fogo Island, guitar building is a healing experience. Peggy White lost her oldest son in an accident in 2011. At age 51, she began making guitars by hand. Now she's a sought-after builder with a 2-year wait list.
This is a little awkward. So I am going to have the guitar held in what's called a troji. So that allows my hands to be free. And what I want to do is I'm going to chisel part of this neck away so that it's flush with the guitar sides. And then once that's done, I can take it off and finish the carving. Before I started building guitars, I had quite a few different careers. I was a travel agent for 10 years. I owned my own cleaning company for about 12 years. When you have lived your worst fear, which was losing one of my kids, I wouldn't say I became fearless, but I certainly didn't have the fear that I think I would have had if that hadn't happened. And I didn't put a whole lot of thought into it. I had never really worked with woodworking machines, and here I am. So I'm listening for how long does that ring go on for? The tone of that ring is beautiful. This is the Italian spruce that I really love to work with. And then if I run my fingers along here, I can feel how quickly is that translating into sound. And so it will do the same thing when it's played. It's lovely. My first course for guitar building was with Sergei de Young. And then I went on to apprentice with Linda Manzer for 3 years. And from there, I studied with Michel Pellerin in Quebec. I'm an advocate for changing careers, especially when you're a little bit older. If you're not happy doing what you're doing and you've always had a dream to do something, or you come upon something new and you think, yeah, I think I'd really like to do that. There's something about doing something like that when you're older that it just gives you a lot of confidence knowing that you can make such a huge change that late in life. In 2011, I lost my oldest son in an accident. He was 18 and his name was Taylor. And that was the catalyst for me really needing to make a big change in my life. I wasn't sure where my next dollar was coming from, and it's a really scary place to be. I don't want to get too comfortable because I think things can change on a dime, but for now, it feels really good to have 2 years worth of guitar builds ahead of me. Finding this so late in life, sometimes I regret that I didn't start building when I was in my 20s, because I would have that many years ahead of me that I would be able to do this. But I'm just so grateful that at 51 years old, I was able to find something that not only do I love doing it every day, but it was incredibly healing after losing my son. And I think that's what I was looking for when I started thinking I need to do something different. I need to do something to fill me up, fill my soul, and guitar building has done that. I think when you work with your hands, you can't help but be present, be in that moment, which is a wonderful way to live. We used to come down here and throw rock and see how, if somebody could get as many bounces as possible before it hit the water. Now these are gonna make a wish. That's pretty interesting. Yeah. I'll make a wish. One. Beat my own record. Oh, no. Go in.
Hamas says its top leaders have survived an Israeli-targeted strike in Qatar's capital. The strike on a territory of a U.S. ally in the Middle East is seen as a shocking escalation. Black smoke billowed over the skyline of the capital city of Doha. Hamas says that while the senior leadership survived, 5 junior members were killed in the strike. A delegation of the militant group was there to discuss ceasefire deal proposed by the Trump administration. Qatar has been a key mediator between Israel and Hamas throughout the 23-month-long war. The strike could further complicate negotiations over a ceasefire in Gaza and the release of Israeli hostages. Qatar is condemning the strike as a violation of international law. Well, back here in Canada, the Alberta government has revised its guidelines for books it says should be removed from schools. The update follows backlash over previous rules that might have affected some classic novels. Julia Wong has more on the guidelines and the reaction to them.
A new chapter in the drama over books in Alberta schools, as new rules from the province narrow the scope of offending titles. The Alberta government now says materials containing any explicit visual depiction of a sexual act will not be available to students, such as drawings, paintings, or photos.
Any material that includes visual depictions of sexual activities, that's our concern and has always been our concern from the very beginning.
Written explicit content can stay on the shelves, so can anatomy books. The new rules come after CBC News obtained a list from Edmonton Public Schools of books it would have banned under the previous rules. Those included classics such as The Handmaid's Tale, Brave New World, and I Know Why the Caged Bird Sings.
Edmonton Public is clearly doing a little vicious compliance over what the direction is.
On top of more specific criteria, the new rules now cover all grade levels. Reviews are mixed.
It makes no sense. I mean, first of all, as many of us know, our imagination is great. So to say that descriptions of sexual acts are okay, but visual depictions of them are not okay is a phony distinction.
Honestly, anyone who pretends that this is censorship is really saying that they should have the right to show sexual images to other people's children without their parents' consent.
Alberta Premier Danielle Smith is walking a fine line to appease a broad base, says this political expert.
This could have been a lot simpler and less complicated and less public and less embarrassing for the government had they dealt with it in consultation with teachers and schools.
It isn't clear how many titles will be affected, but school boards must submit a list of books they plan to remove by October 31st, and those will need to be off the shelves by January 5th of next year. Julia Wong, CBC News, Edmonton.
So here's what we've gathered from talking to local residents.
I spoke with a renter who's facing eviction this fall.
It is not for the weak of stomachs.
What does it mean for you to be able to give that advice and to know that you've helped? Don't look down.
If this is something that you didn't know about, let me tell you.
Heather Gillis, CBC News, Happy Valley Goose Bay.
St. John's.
Corner Brook.
Shaji, Inuk First Nation.
Grand Falls, Windsor.
New West Valley, Newfoundland and Labrador.
All right, time for a look at the long-range forecast. We were just saying that we're dressed exactly the opposite right now. Didn't plan that. But anyways, talking about the long-range forecast, I guess we should settle into this idea of the cooler weather is here for a while.
Yeah, the more seasonable conditions for sure. Definitely feels like late summer. Still beautiful though, really it's comfortable. Let's just say that. It's certainly comfortable. But we do have some rain on the way as we get into the long range forecast. So let's take a look at what's going on. So that cloud cover will arrive Wednesday evening across the island, and we will see some showers for the northern peninsula through the overnight and into early Thursday morning. It's going to be unsettled up across Labrador as well. Got a couple of systems at play here, but the rain will arrive on Thursday morning for mainly eastern Newfoundland, and then it'll work its way north and really west at this point through the afternoon on Thursday. So some of this rain could be heavy at times through the day. Going to keep an eye on that. Some models not showing as much rain, but there's certainly potential that we will see some rain that will be heavy at times through the day on Thursday, mainly for the south coast and really the eastern half of the island. Labrador, you'll be dealing with showers through the day as well as the system area of low pressure kind of sticks around, and temperatures are going to be sitting in the single digits, mainly for the north coast as well as Lab West. The rest of Labrador will sit between 11 to 16 degrees, and then temperatures across the island really not moving a whole lot, either in the upper teens or low 20s. Mainly west we'll see those milder temperatures. But yeah, it's going to be certainly an unsettled day. I don't think anybody will be complaining about the rain, but that is going to continue as we head into Friday. At least the potential for some rain will continue as we head into Friday for, again, most of the island and most of Labrador as well. Better chance of some heavier rain, though, for the southeast in the morning, and then that should clear out as the day goes on, and we'll see that linger along the northeast coast. At least through the evening hours and potentially into early Saturday as well. That where that area of low pressure is going to bring in more northerly flow, and that is going to keep the temperatures a little on the cool side. So somewhere between 10 to 15 degrees, a little milder though for the Avalon and again along the south coast, so more like upper teens. The sun should come out likely for you on the southeast coast, southwest coast rather, and then for Labrador, single digits towards the coast, otherwise between 10 to 12 degrees for your Friday. As we look ahead to the long range forecast, not bad Saturday and Sunday. Temperatures will be somewhere between 14 to 16 degrees for St. John's and eastern Newfoundland. And then for Central, again, periods of rain on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday look pretty decent at this point. Where you will sit somewhere between 15 to 17 degrees. Same thing for the west, although Sunday looks like you may see a few showers in the mix. And then for Labrador, overall, unsettled right through Saturday. Temperatures warming up a little bit, and then somewhere between 13 to 16 degrees for the west with sunshine for your Sunday. Our weather photo today is taken in Port Anson. This is a lovely shot of the moon. Beautiful. Thank you.
Gorgeous.
It is, yeah. That's the moonlight over Bob's Cove. Thank you to Sheila for that. Any weather photos that you'd like to share with us, we love seeing them. And for your chance to get them on the show, send them to my Facebook page or email them to nlphotos@cbc.ca.
I wonder who is Bob? Bob's Cove, where that name came from.
Yeah, there's lots of named coves around here that I really would love to know the history.
Yeah, lots of history. And great shot, Sheila. Thank you so much for that. Well, that is it for us on this Tuesday evening. 9 degrees, that jumped out at me in Western Labrador. That's going to feel really chilly, really cold. Yeah. Okay, well, that's it for us. Thank you so much for spending part of your evening with us.
Good night.